Wow. Sorry about that. Wow. Well, since I'm starting over, good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space. Kenny is here. Episode 107 of Skydude. I'm terribly sorry for what's happening here with the internet. Was just disconnected, and then it killed the stream altogether in like 2 seconds. I'm like, well, the last stream I shut down and rebooted and came back on. Everything was fine. Was able to reconnect. This time, no. It shut down and it killed the stream altogether. Dead. Could not reconnect to it. Wouldn't show back up. So I had to just create a new one real fast. Ye gads. What a day. Hey. What a day. B. Try to get things up. If you're going to join the flight today, EDEV is where we're at. And we get Bushtalk loaded again. Oh, folks, I'm so sorry. Hope you had a good weekend. Let me just go over the whole thing again. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. If you have any questions about flying, please don't hesitate to ask. Especially when it comes to Microsoft Flight Simulator flying. If I can't answer it, I'm sure Henning can. And between us, if we don't know the answer, we'll find you the answer. Need any help? We're here. There will be a world update this week on probably tomorrow. Login right. So if you have your simulator, make sure you fire it up Tuesday afternoon or evening to get that update. And I guess it's going to be the Caribbean, however you want to pronounce it. So that's good. I'm sure they said they're going to make those islands look really good. The water masking hasn't been ideal in some of those places, and I guess they're going to get that all for those people. I'm still waiting for them to do Mexico. I'm surprised that they haven't. All right. The 31st? Okay. No problem at all. Well, I'll try to make time on the weekends. Let's see here. And we are going to our job that we have already loaded in, taking us to ETID. Let me put that in the chat room. Programmed in here already. ETID. Ooh. Round on me. Okay. So we're heading south towards Frankfurt, and I wanted to go that way anyway because I want to find a place in Germany called Landstuhl. Something like that. And I guess it's down south this way. All right, we're doing a cargo run. Only 43 miles, $9,900. And we're taking some cargo. Are my brakes still on? God, we're gonna crash. I better stop this. Abort, 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 abort. Abort, 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 abort. Where have we gone? I was looking over the other screen, and I look up, and I'm like, we're going way too slow to take off. Man, everything is going wrong today. I should have been at EDWU yesterday, I'm being told. Let me just list the airplanes I saw yesterday. A Baron, a Seneca, an Aquila, PA-18, Bonanza, Stearman, all your fellow gliders. That is one of the loveliest things about having real-world air traffic and having all your multiplayer friends. in your friend list. All right. I take off the other direction. Gonna make it. It looks better than turning around and going the other way at the. We're gonna do. Got it.
Okay, pilot, steady away. See you again soon.
Dang. Well, let's hope we don't have any other mishaps. Speaking of flying and seeing traffic, there's some traffic off to our port side right now. Far enough away. And at a glance, doesn't look like that's going to be any sort of collision problem. Over to my autopilot. Alt hold and select. We might have to go up a ways. Now I'm not hearing the sim. What a day. Turn the simulator volume. There we go. At least you can hear the wind. I've got the engine noise down really low. Okay, great. All right, well, we're on track. Only 43 minutes late are we on track, so wow. Wow, man, what a day. What a... when I came in this morning to make some adjustments and fly over to the correct airport this morning, the artwork, the cover art for today's show, it was so... The sunset was so orange. Put up the cover art. So when I first came in today to move the plane over to the proper airport, that's what the sky looked like here in Germany this evening, earlier in the evening. It was darn beautiful. Everything was perfectly orange. What's the best way? Okay, okay. The best way to make money in Neofly, I would say, is to rent an airplane. And to rent an airplane, you go to the hangar. No, to rent an airplane, you come down here to the aircraft market, right? And I don't know how much money you'll be starting with, but I recommend getting it as soon as you can, or when you're able to rent a caravan. You're probably going to need like over 200,000, I think. Okay. Once you get a caravan, I think the caravan is absolutely the best way to make the best money. Now, the way to truly make the best money is to spend more real life money and get the pilot package. Okay, so if you come down here to the little, not that one, pilots, your staff. Okay, when I was doing the alpha, the reason why I have so much money is I was in the testing thing for it, early release. And they allowed us to play with the pilots for free. And I thought because we were testers, they would give us the pilots for free once we went live. And they're like, nope, if you want the pilots, you're going to pay for it. And I said, well, nope to you. 2024 is right around the corner, and their career is going to be way better than your career. So suck it. And, you know, hey, I'm broke. So, all right, this is the absolute best way to make money. Get yourself pilots, right? And then while you're flying a job, you can have four or more other pilots actively flying jobs at the same time as you. You can make over $100,000 every 5-10 minutes. Because in a caravan, even doing a small job, so right now this is just like a 45-mile run, we're making 9,000. Now you can actually do better than that, but no matter what, with the caravan, you can carry a lot, and even a small run can be very, very profitable. So I have no idea how any of the you can also own your own airline and manage that, and I have never done any of that. I don't know. So I from my perspective, what I've said about the fastest way to make money, that's it from my perspective. You might want to go into the Discord and get a second opinion on that, but that's the best I've found. So yeah, using pilots, I was able to work my way up to 9 million fast. All right, here's another way and I just remembered there's another way to make money. Okay, check this out. When you first log in, let me find out where it's at. When you first log in, every 24 hours this changes, and it changes to a new location around the world. If I can remember where to find it. Oh, yeah, so every day there is a, what's up here? A purple marker that shows up somewhere on the map. I'll have to look it up again. But it can be gold, or it can be a crashed aircraft or something. But usually every day when you log in, it'll tell you, oh, the objective to find the gold or the crashed plane is moved somewhere else in the world. And then you need to zoom out and find the purple marker. I haven't done it in so long. And if you have the money and can afford it, you can immediately move yourself to go find that. Now, I've never struck gold. The only two that I've done so far are downed planes, and they were still pretty profitable. If you find gold, they're like 5 million per gold bar that you find, something like that. So that's probably the fastest way to make money, is every day that you log in, try to find what I'm not able to find at the moment. Pay attention when it logs in. It'll tell you, hey, this has been moved, and look for it. There it is. Okay, so today, oh yeah, of course, as soon as I moved to Germany, every time I check it, it's always in Europe somewhere. Okay, so this today, the exclamation point in purple, this expires in 24 hours. And this is the exploration mission. So yeah, if you set up the exploration mission, which I've forgotten how to do. Again, that could be gold. And they do stuff like that. So, I mean, this one might be impossible to get to, because it's in the middle of the woods, and you got a road nearby, so you might want to teleport to a nearby airport, find the nearest airport, teleport to that, and rent yourself like a helicopter or something, some other aircraft, to get you over to one of these roads, and hopefully that's within 1 mile. You land within 1 mile of this thing, it should trigger a win and give you whatever you need to collect. So yeah, the third way. Do I have a plan for all that money? You know, I really want to get an airliner, but an airliner, I mean, it costs stupid money now. I was really happy that they would, I was really hoping that they would let us keep our pilots. Because if we come down here, let's say the caravan alone. The caravan is $3 million. Right? So let's see the Honda Jet. See if they have it in here. No Honda. Okay, what about let's just move up to an airliner. Let's say a 320. 106 million. So it seems like a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. So I will be sticking with the caravan for, I don't know, maybe a DC-3 will have more cargo capacity. See what a DC-3 costs. See if there's any DCs at all. Yeah. I don't know how. I would have to compare the cargo. But here's a Douglas DC-3 in white. $7 million. Now, if you're not, if you want to make money, but you don't want to either rent a plane or use any of the planes they got, and you just want to fly whatever you want to fly, and money may not be that big of an issue, but you're like, look, I only want to fly the Honda Jet. Let's just use that one again as an example. They have freelance jobs. Okay, now freelance, the second button here, this allows you to use any plane that you have in Microsoft Flight Simulator, including the military planes. Once you load up a plane and spawn in somewhere, it will show you here on the screen. It'll update, it'll sync, and it knows where you're at. Then it'll find you any freelance jobs that are available within reach. But because you are only, when you do a freelance job, they look at it this way. You don't own the plane, you're not renting the plane. You're being hired as a pilot only to fly the plane on these freelance missions. Therefore, you're not going to make a lot. So normally, let's say this cargo run right here, $34, 34 miles. We're going 40 miles and we're making almost 10,000. So for a 34-mile run, only 2,158. For a 55-mile run, search and rescue, yeah. So you see how you can fly whatever you want, but it's kind of chump change. Even when you're flying an airliner, actually, I don't know. I'd have to switch to an airliner. But this is a passenger one, 2,502. So, not the best way to make money, but the most fun way to make money if you want to fly whatever you want. You can buy and sell goods. If you're really into that, this is probably a great way to make money too, and something I don't normally do. You can play the market. Okay? So coming down here to the market icon, the goods market, it gives you the current. Bring this back over to my main screen. It's hard for me to see. Okay. All right. So here's the current today's price, the market price for phones. So for 222 phones, 10,118. Now, certain airports only sell certain goods. Oh, and gold has come down in price. Now it's only 2, 3. Now it's only 45,000. Oh, I was wrong. I got them mixed up. It's gold and artifacts. So both times that I went after that, I've gotten gold. The artifacts are 5 million. Okay. So you have a chance to get 5 million by finding an artifact. Anyway, here's the markets for the day. And certain airports only sell certain goods. Certain airports don't have certain goods. So if you're really into this, doing this, looking at the market and looking what's selling as you go from place to place, this would probably be very profitable as well. Mechanical parts are always usually sell well. So now you can also now check out what they want. So EDEV is selling this. And let me see, let's say EDWU or EDW. This is the home airport. Okay. So they're both selling, okay. He's selling computers. EDW is selling phones. Oh, they're buying. My bad. EDW is buying phones and meat. They're selling meat for 2025 for 64. So then again, if you're good with math, you can add that up, figure out how much it would be. And here's the bonuses for the day. They said, look for these things, the profit. This tells you your profit margin right here. So plus $707 for flying meat over to EDWU. I don't know how you work that out. Like, again, it's based on now how much cargo capacity. And to me, the Caravan right at the moment at this price range, I don't really care for flying the DC. But that probably has a lot more cargo. But I'm happy with the Caravan for right now. I'm more so looking forward to Microsoft Flight Simulator. This was something to check out and mess around with for a while. But come 2024, I'm sure their jobs are just going to be far out, man. Their career mode. Hopefully it's a full-blown career mode.
500.
I think we'll be all right. And let's see how close we are to our destination. We passed it. Okay, so let's go up to air traffic control, call into ETID. Turn this ship around. Hanau. And the wind is blowing from... The wind is blowing from the west. Runway 10. I don't know that it's going to matter. And off the autopilot and set turn the ship around. Steep turn lesson. Hold your nose right on the horizon if you can. So right up ahead we have Goldbach, Glottbach, and damn. That's the word for the day. Damn, everything has gone wrong today. Damn. I don't even see the airport. Yep. Today is the day we validate Murphy's Law. Gunzenbach, Sternberg, Johannesburg, Hull, Axburg. Well, I'm surprised. You said in Europe you mostly have west wind, but most of the airports are east and west. Well, I guess it's the same with the United States too. I rare that I'm taking off into a headwind. It's always a crosswind. Last few days flying in Germany, it's all been crosswind. Let me see if I'm able to select your channels now. I'm trying to pull up your channels earlier. And that's weird. Normally you're able to select somebody's icon in the chat and go to their channel. Because I went and checked out Farmer Cool's website. Let me pop it out and see if I get a different option. City called Wasserlos basically means without water. So much water around here. Go to channel. But the chat popped out, I can. There's Henning's channel. He's got first ever albino raccoon. And he's only got one short on there. And we need to get some flying videos up on his page. And now same thing. Now I can go to oops. I can go to Farmer Cool's channel and there's nothing going on. So I really look forward to you guys putting up some stuff. Away. Let me check and see if there's anything in the area that we want to look at as far as landmark. Don't misbehave. We're having a day already of it. Behave. Hard to see my plane sometimes on that map. Come on, plane. Stick with the plan, man.
Riaschberg is a hill in the Spessart Range, located in the Landkreis Aschaffenburg, part of the Franconia region of Bavaria, Germany. It has an elevation of 415 meters. The wooded hill is located mostly in the unincorporated area of. At its foot lies the town of Schulkrippen. To the south is the valley of the Hollenbach, to the north that of the Kleiner Lordienbach, both of which flow into the Karl. There is a transmission mast on the hill, operated by Vodafone, located on the slope at an elevation of around 385 meters. Near the peak, there is a sort of circular rampart, known as or Altenburg, with remains of both earth and masonry walls, long thought to date to the La 10 period. However, excavations in 2005 indicate that it most likely is a 10th century refuge castle, with some elements added later. Over the centuries, locals have used the fortification as a source of construction materials, reducing the remains to just foundations. A former monastery, lies on the lower slopes, just beneath the forest fringe.
So that was behind us.
The European Central Bank is the central bank of the Eurozone, a monetary union of 19 EU member states which employ the euro. Established by the Treaty of Amsterdam, the ECB is one of the world's most important central banks and serves as one of 7 institutions of the European Union, being enshrined in the Treaty on European Union. The bank's capital stock is owned by all 27 central banks of each EU member state. The current president of the ECB is Christine Lagarde. Headquartered in Frankfurt, Germany, the bank formerly occupied the Eurotower prior to the construction of its new seat. The primary objective of the ECB, mandated in Article 2 of the Statute of the ECB, is to maintain price stability within the Eurozone. Its basic tasks, set out in Article 3 of the statute, are to set and implement the monetary policy for the Eurozone, to conduct foreign exchange operations, to take care of the foreign reserves of the European system of central banks and operation of the financial market infrastructure under the Target 2 payment system and the technical platform for settlement of securities in Europe. The ECB has, under Article 16 of its statute, the exclusive right to authorize the issuance of euro banknotes. Member states can issue euro coins, but the amount must be authorized by the ECB beforehand. On the 1st of December 2009, the Treaty of Lisbon entered into force. ECB, according to the Article 13 of TEO, gained official status of an EU institution. The ECB is governed by European law directly, but its setup resembles that of a corporation in the sense that the ECB has shareholders and stock capital. Its capital is 11 billion euros held by the national central banks of the member states as shareholders. The initial capital allocation key was determined in 1998 on the basis of the state's population and GDP, but the capital key has been adjusted. Shares in the ECB are not transferable and cannot be used as collateral. When the ECB was created, it covered a Eurozone of 11 members. Since then, Greece joined in January 2001, Slovenia in January 2007, Cyprus and Malta in January.
Man, all this for a bank?
Slovakia in January 2009,
Yawn.
Estonia in January 2011, Latvia in January 2014 and Lithuania in January 2015.
And that's a lot. Should document all your flying time. Well, you know, can't tell you what to do, but as good as you guys are, you should be making some training videos and doing your own Skydude like programs whenever you're available or on. All right, we are coming in for a landing at ETID. Butterstadt. We're right over the runway now. If they don't have dairy farms in Butterstadt, I would be very put out. Like, you can't call yourself that. You don't have, how many dairy cows do you have here? You don't have any dairy cows here? And you're calling yourself Butterstadt? You just give up that name then. I did it again. Again, everything that can go wrong today. All the mistakes that I can make, I will be making today. We started off the stream with no microphone working and I had to do an emergency reboot. And so, yeah, it's just been one cascading failure after another. And that was just another one. If that noise you just heard, that was my flaps. Yep, they were down the whole flight. So, 2 thumbs up for fuel efficiency. Yeah, there's Butterstadt right below us. I see some farms. Yeah, somebody's got to have a dairy cow down there. Decken. Last time. Did a row. I don't know how to pronounce that kind of bee. It looks like a bee, Rob Dorf, but the bee's it's unusual. It doesn't look like a normal bee. But so it looks like Rob Dorf, but I don't know phonetically supposed to pronounce that bee differently. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, one thing going right, we'll be on the ground at probably the 20-minute mark, at least by or after the 20-minute mark. We can take a little break, do a little smoke break, and do a little music break, and I will go get some more coffee and or tea. That's a nice roundabout down there. Welcome back, Farmer Cool. Just getting ready to come in for a landing. Then we're going to do take like a 5-minute, maybe 5-minute break. Usually around the 20-minute mark. I like doing the smoke break. Uh-oh. Power back in there. Coming in a little too slow. Fast.
500.
I see. Well, I know Henning is flying for sure. So when I went over and looked at your channel, Farmer Cool, that you do, you are into flying. That's the thing right up on your bio. So what are we talking about? Are you a flight simmer? Are you new? Are you an old school flight simmer? Are you a real world pilot? What kind of flying are you interested in, or where are you at?
That's pretty close to the center line, pilot. Nice job. Taxi to parking, please.
Transporter from dispatch. Clear the runway and taxi to parking.
All right. 17 minutes after the hour. Oh, how awesome. So you're one of the brave ones. That's so awesome. Well, I probably would do it if I could afford it. I would probably go out and at least take the lessons and at least try to take the tests. I really want to. And if one of these days my finances all work out right, then I will. But for right now, for you to even say, like you and Hans and Henning, you guys that actually go out there and you're actually doing it, now that since we're stopping on the ground, I can grab my coffee and raise it up in a salute. Cheers to you. That's what I'm doing right now. I have my mug up. Cheers. Here's to you, you courageous bastards. You are so cool. You are my heroes. I think I just scared him. I think I scared him right out of the room. But that you do it is just too cool. That's so cool. Yeah, I want to know too. What's he flying? What's he doing? Has he taken any tests yet? What part of the flying is he at? Yeah, I really do. I'd like to be able to have it under my belt, but knowing my family, they'll be like, why are you doing that? Why are you spending your money doing that? Can't afford it. And they're right. And one of the things I've said is I've spent so many years in the flight simulator, and I still make so many mistakes. Farmer Cool, I don't know what happened, if you were disconnected or not or whatever, but I was raising my mug to you and saying, I admire you, you're courageous, and folks like you are my heroes at the moment. Because you're brave enough, might just be crazy. You're crazy enough and brave enough to actually go out there and try to do it. So I was raising my mug and making a cheers to you folks. Cheers. That is good coffee. Christine makes the best coffee. She won't let me make coffee. She's got it down to a science. She's like, I don't like your coffee. I'm like, well, I try to make it just like you. And she's like, well, you don't. And she's right. I don't know. She's magic. It's like a witch thing or something. I don't know. Her coffee just comes out better. I would love to train in a Cessna 172. I'd be happy in any Cessna, really. I don't really care, but I love the 172. I love it. And knowing the school, it's probably going to be, I don't know, probably going to be steam gauges, but I don't mind either or. I don't mind steam gauges at all, but I would really just like to say, man, I'm so into the Garmins, but I will demonstrate, I will demonstrate all day long that I know how to use the steam gauges and VOR navigate and all of that good stuff.
Transporter. Cargo unloading in progress.
Turn off the battery there. In Neofly, it won't let you cash in on the job unless you turn the engine off. You don't actually have to be all the way into parking and the taxi and all that. If I wasn't live streaming, I'd probably spend more time to taxi and do all that, go park but you just have to pull off on the side of the taxi, turn off the engine, get the job cashed in, get a new one, and take off. So we're paid. It'll show up here in one moment.
Transporter from dispatch. Everything seems okay. The customer looks happy. Mission ended.
There we go. We got paid.
Everything is on board.
So now we'll go back to Neofly. Okay, here's the jobs that you can set your miles. So minimum of 42 miles, maximum of 99 miles. And if it's available for us, it'll be a white icon down here in the second box. Let's filter these by the highest paying. Highest paying says we don't have enough cargo capacity for it for 27. That is I think that's like a search and rescue. This is delivering passengers to EDPA. So that one, what direction that's going to take us. Things. You aren't right on them when you zoom in, you're all over the place. Okay, so this one's going to take us south. We're missing Frankfurt, so let's divert over that way for a moment. I just wanted to see what it looks like. And then we'll cut over here to EDPA. So click your icon down here.
Hey, pilot. I know what you're thinking, but this guy pays good money to fly at this time.
Okay. So,
Transporter, boarding has started.
Hi, pilot. Someone you shouldn't see is boarding. Please don't come to the cabin or I will have to kill you.
well, that's a first. I've never heard that audible before. What a trip. My passengers just threatened me.
Transporter, boarding is complete.
We're not allowed to know who is sitting behind us. I hope you heard all that. That's the first time I've ever heard that at a Neofly. What a trip. Don't turn around.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and takeoff.
Uh-huh. All right. We need to go to... We're taking this person who's just threatened us now. EDPA. On our Garmin, hit... Let's do a direct to. Click the little icon that looks like the keyboard next to it. EDPA. Hit enter twice on your console. Here we have our GPS for it. All right, so Neofly doesn't care. As long as you're off the runway and the engine is off, it'll load you up with your next job and you can just skedaddle on your way. Welcome to Frankfurt, Germany. People are always threatening. Oh, it's probably when I typed in the P. Yep, that was it. Okay. Come on. Yeah, I have P tied to my paws. Oh. Stopping again. Stop. I got so excited doing my little tutorial on Neofly there that I forgot that 26 minutes after the hour and I haven't done my smoke break. I'm going to take a moment here to pop out of the aircraft, walk around and stretch for a minute in my head, the role-playing thing. But I do want to take a break, but small, and I like playing music from right at the moment. I had great music going on with the Pretzel app, and that's a long story. But this allows me to concentrate, but I'm not using them anymore, and it allows me to concentrate on maybe 2 or 3 artists that are really cool. They don't care if you play their music. Well, they don't care if I play it, because they're my friends. and so it doesn't cause any copyright problem. I'll be right back. Smoke if you got 'em. All right. So chatting with Farmer Cool and Henning in the chat room, and we're finding out that Farmer Cool is he's actually doing it. He's in flight school. He's taking flight lessons now. And I'm asking if he's done his cross countries yet. Nope. What about are you at the navigation part yet? DOR navigation, NDB navigation, any navigation in general, or are you still in the just learning to fly phase? That phase. Nice. Now with Microsoft Flight Simulator, I wanted to take it seriously. I've mentioned role playing a lot, and so people are like, "Oh man, you've got Microsoft Flight Simulator. You must fly all around the world, and you've seen everything." It's like, no. I take it so seriously that for the first, even during the alpha, and for the first year, or we're in year 3 now, maybe, I still just fly at my home airport. I try to practice every day, or was practicing every day at one point, and just learning to fly my patterns, learning to mess with air traffic control, learning to do flight plans, learning to do navigation. And I just stayed at my own airport so I could become familiar with it in case I actually get the huevos to go do it. And so I'm just now in the simulator doing my cross countries. I just finished doing I don't know if when you were tuning in last time, I was doing my cross country, which turned into a cross countries all the way down into South America. And so I've done, and then I've been doing learning airliner flying. And so I've done plenty of cross countries in the 320. All right. And let me put my cigarette down. All right. That was a smoke break, and we heard Total Breakdown. Been a lot of problems today. And our new Saint. We need to get a little bobblehead Saint or Farmer Cool up for our dash now. because he came in and first thing he noticed that the microphone wasn't working, and I wouldn't have known. I don't pay attention. And so he came in and told me right away, hey man, your mic isn't. Normally people just let my cheese hang out in the wind and laugh. Ha 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 ha. But Henning would have come in and eventually told me that the microphone was off. So thank you, gentlemen. And I taxied too fast. I know, I apologize. If I'm just doing it by myself, guys, I mean, I try to do everything by the book, taxi the right speed, but for live streaming purposes, let's just get to it. Okay, we're up.
Transporter from dispatch. Sorry, but you messed up the mission. You will not be paid.
What?
Pilot, fly safe. Don't try to make friends with the customer.
What? So either we failed it or we didn't. Don't try to make friends with it. This is entirely new to me. I don't know what Neofly is doing. I thought this was just a passenger. I will fly it anyway. I don't care if we make money. I don't want to turn around and land now and just start it over. All right, so let's go to our console here. Get back the throttle a little bit. Don't need full propeller. Want to cruise. I don't think we need full. We need full conditioner. Got to open the separator. Thing was going the right direction. An out hold and out. If nav doesn't take and respond immediately, hit direct 2, hit enter twice again, have it reestablish itself. And then I'll go ahead and do an altitude. I didn't check my altimeter. 5,000 probably be good. Flight level change and see what the radio said. Last altimeter was 2992, so we don't have to change. Okay. Back to sightseeing mode. How cool. Well, now I want to look in the back seat and see if anybody's there. Do they put? Nah, I think so. Neofly's not that good. Or maybe he's invisible. Nah, Neofly's not that good. They don't like the parachuters too. I did my first parachute mission the other day, and I thought I failed. I went right to the landings or to the drop-off point, and I'm going the right speed, and I'm circling around trying to get it, and it just wouldn't tell me the mission was complete. So I'm like, damn, whatever. I was all mad, and I just was looking at something else for a minute, and the plane kept flying forward. And it flew about a mile away from where it said I was supposed to drop them off, and it said, okay, the parachutists are all jumping out now. Mission complete. So, with the parachute missions, if you find that is the case, you fly right to the flag and you're at the right altitude and the right speed and it doesn't deploy, keep widening your circles around that spot. And it'll trigger. Okay. High enough. The separator here, this was a new one for me on these planes, on this plane. One, it's not mix. It is a mix, but you can't manually control this, which I don't really like. I love the fact in general aviation planes like the Cessna, we can mess with our own mix. I wish they would even bring back to cars, but people are too stupid these days, I guess, or whatever. They just automate everything. And unless you're a real gearhead, you can't control your automobile mix from the cockpit. And these also have a propeller. So you can change this. It changes the angle of the blade. It'll either rotate the blade. So that's what it's doing. When you have it at full RPM, angle attack in the air, it bites the air much harder. If you just want to get into cruise and mellow out, and then you can bring it all the way down to a feather where it's not really biting the air at all. The thing I hated most when I committed to learning was that I couldn't get my head around navigation. And so I almost quit, and I'm not paying for it. It's a simulator. I'm like, I kept trying, and I just couldn't figure it out. And I'm doing all the testing and the training in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and even going back to Microsoft Flight Simulator X. I finally started learning to land okay. And stick in more than 50% of landings. I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and commit to trying to learn more. So yeah, I started doing all the VOR navigation stuff. It just couldn't. I kept failing. I don't get it. So YouTube is around now. Now I start watching videos on it. And I still don't get it. So I watch a couple of videos and I go try it again and take the training lessons in the simulator, and nope. And then all of a sudden one day, just, I don't know if you can hear my fingers snapping, so I just got all of a sudden, oh, I get it. Oh my God. Maybe it's just one of those things where you watch one person on one particular video and they explain it in such a way that you're like, well, why didn't the other guys say that? Like, are you deliberately trying to make it so hard that people wash out? And maybe they are. But finally I got it, and now that's my favorite subject. So, I don't know, for months and months, just practicing VOR navigation out of my home airport at K-Fly in Colorado Springs. Learning how to fly all the VORs, and then breaking out the charts and learning how to use the charts and to actually fly, on proper waypoints and flight planning proper waypoints, so I don't mess and cross into people's airspaces, and I avoid military airspace, and flight planning and navigation is a hoot. I even learned how to triangulate with 2 VOR. And what I don't know how to do now, and we were talking with Henning, I was talking with Henning the other day about it, is those little E6B handheld computers that you get, the calculators. So I'm going to get one of those ordered so I can get one in my hands. They have online versions, but I want to be able to hold that thing in my hand and do the calculations myself. All right. Okay. So Henny's taking off, and we're going to wish him well. Yes, sir. Your education comes first, and absolutely take it seriously. I've got my both fingers crossed for you. And you'll be free flying Thursday and Friday. And so we'll look for you I'll be looking for you this Thursday and Friday, and do whatever you want. Farmer Cool says you just got one for free, your E6B. It's awesome. I wish, and I've put in a forum post, wish lists. I've done it a couple of times, asking that somebody over there really be clever and try to figure out how to introduce the E6B into Microsoft Flight Simulator. Right? So they've done the VOR to VOR, and actually the way that they teach navigation in here, the old school way, by using time, doing it based on time. Get above the airport, spin around, get going the right direction, and you click your timer. Get your clock in your cockpit reset. And learning how to fly that way, that is a hoot. I really enjoy, and I don't do as much of them as I should. I probably shouldn't use those for live stream content. The bush trips, that's what they call them. But doing the bush trips and using the that way, timing navigation. Far out. But yeah, if they can figure out how to take us up to the next level, doing the, okay, you're going to fly from here to here, and the wind is going to be doing this. So, on the screen, before you can advance, you've got to run your little mini E6B calculator up in the corner and get the thing set in your cockpit right, in the right trim, or whatever you got to do. Or like a test, how much fuel are you going to need, all that stuff. So far out, good for you. That's awesome. Great. And that's a friend, man. Monchberg. And normally, again, because I'm live streaming, I'm not handling radios. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing properly just for live streaming. But I do know how to, I think I know most everything. So if they actually were to tell me, here, take the test. Here's the test. Take the test. On YouTube, I watch all the videos on what is required to take a test. And in some cases, they do mock tests on certain videos where they'll walk you through the test. Or sometimes they'll even film students. I've seen a couple of those. And I guess they're letting, I don't know about what your situation is, but I've seen even the students, they'll bring in both. They have to demonstrate both. They can bring in the E6B and do things old school, or if they've got an app on their phone or they've got other digital means to solve the problem, they will also let them demonstrate that they can do things digitally. But again, I guess, they want to know that you know all the old school stuff as well. So, but anyway, I watched those videos. And like I said a minute ago, aside from the E6B calculations kind of stuff, I think I can answer every question. Of course, there's things that we can't do. Like, I can't go out there and check the pitot tube. I can't check the fuel mixtures, check for water in the fuel and, those kind of things. People have been talking about getting that added into Microsoft Flight Simulator for a long time as well, and maybe 2024 they will. Being able to do your walk around and doing your plane inspection. Don't know every function, and I'm no pro at the different Garmin. but I do my best. I do enjoy flight planning and setting up flight plans, and learning how to use the MCDU and the airliners. So anything to do with automation, I do know how to use it all. So if there's any ever questions that you have on any of this, but for live stream, again, sometimes it's just quicker, just do a direct to. We're not breaking out the charts. I still haven't found a good place for charts for Germany. And you probably know by now that the visual flight rules map that they provide us in Microsoft Flight Simulator is dog crap. I have, it might be in this playlist, it might not. It might be an older playlist on my channel. I've got lots and lots and lots of training videos. And again, it's, you think, well, why you're not a real world pilot? Why in the world would you create training videos? And it's to demonstrate that that I can do it. So I've made lots and lots and lots of flight tutorial videos of my own and put them on my channel to demonstrate all the lessons that I know how to do everything. And if I had to try to teach the class. And for some people, they've come into my videos and they said, hey man, I really appreciate the way you explain things. Because some of the way these other guys have explained it, I couldn't get my head around it. And I said, I know exactly what you mean. So I titled a lot of my training videos Noob Flights, because I was noob. But it was noob to noob. You know, me as a noob trying to explain things and help out other noobs like myself who may have found it difficult watching other people's professional videos. They lose you somewhere. This says we have 22 minutes and 8 seconds. We're on track 143 and moving 166 knots. Let's check our make sure there's no hills in front of us, and then open up Bushtalk again. And let's do some sightseeing. Okay, so we've just passed, and I don't know why it didn't trigger.
Miltenberg is a town in the Regierungsbezirk of Lower Franconia in Bavaria, Germany. It is the seat of the like-named district and has a population of over 9,000. The old town lies on the Main's left bank on the left knee of the Main Vierek between the Spessart and Odenwald ranges. Since the main riverbed in the Miltenberg area is relatively near the foot of the Odenwald, only a narrow strip of usable land is left, little over 150 meters in width, 79 which in past centuries was time and again flooded by the Main. The historic center, which stands on this land, often sustained considerable damage in these floods. Only in the 21st century efficient flood control measures, most of all a wall, have significantly reduced the adverse effects of these floods. Since about the beginning of the 20th century, after the Battle of Tauberbischofsheim was an engagement of the Austro-Prussian War of 1866, on the 24th of July at Tauberbischofsheim.
That was right over here.
Duchy of Baden between troops of the German Confederation and the Kingdom of Prussia. It was part of the campaign of the Main and ended with a Prussian victory. After the Prussian main army had beaten the Bavarians at Kissingen, the Bavarian army retreated to Würzburg. The Prussians now turned west against the 8th Confederate Army which protected Frankfurt. After the 8th Army had lost the Battle of Fraunhofen, near Aschaffenburg, it gave up the defense of Frankfurt and went southeastward to unite with the Bavarians at the River Tauber. The Prussian army followed.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of... These hills have seen a lot of battle throughout history. Lots and lots and lots. Okay, so that is directly to our west. And up ahead on our port side,
Rothenburg ob der Tauber is a town in the district of Ansbach of Mittelfranken, the Franconia region of Bavaria, Germany. It is well known for its well-preserved medieval old town, a destination for tourists from around the world. It is part of the popular Romantic Road through southern Germany. Rothenburg was a free imperial city from the late Middle Ages to 1803. In 1884, Johann Friedrich Hessing built Wildbad Rothenburg ODT 1884 to 1903. The name Rothenburg ob der Tauber is German for Red Castle above the Tauber. This is so because the town is located on a plateau overlooking the Tauber River. As to the name Rothenburg, some say it comes from the German words Rot and Berg, referring to the red color of the roofs of the houses which overlook the river. The name may also refer to the process of retting flax for linen production.
that's neat. I don't know if we're going to pass right by this or not, but it's up ahead, just to the right a little bit.
On the Kocher Viaduct near Schwäbisch Hall in Germany, the Autobahn 6 crosses the Kocher Valley between Heilbronn and Nuremberg. With its maximum height of 185 meters above the valley bottom, it is the highest viaduct in Germany, and was also the bridge with the tallest pillars in the world before the Millau Viaduct, France, was completed in 2004. The 9 spans of this pre-stressed concrete girder bridge cover a length of 1,128 meters, the individual span lengths being 81 meters for the outer 2 and 138 meters for the remaining 7. Pillar height varies from 40 meters to 178 meters. The bridge table is 31 meters wide. Construction was from 1976 to 1979. A museum in the village of below the bridge not only tells the bridge's story but also displays dinosaur fossils found during the construction of the motorway.
Now that sounds so cool that, let me go ahead and deviate, see if we can catch this one. Screwed up on that castle earlier. So that should put us on a better vector towards that bridge. And because it's so big, that should be in the simulator, and we should be able to see it. So bring us down. Okay, here's another little tutorial that I had to discover in the flight simulator. Okay, let me lower my altitude. We're like 5,000 feet, 49. Okay, come down to 3,000. Okay, so dial that in. Now, if you have your throttle at full and you initiate a flight level change to have the plane begin a descent, it won't go down. So if you're sitting there wondering, clicking flight level, going, well, why isn't it working? It's because your throttle's full. So once you, if it's not, you'll notice it's it'll start doing its descent. I still have my throttle up pretty high. Let me bring it back a little bit more. There you see, as I bring the throttle down, it'll do a vertical speed descent faster. Always remember to put your throttle back in once you hit your desired altitude. Okay, so we're going to see this bridge, the longest spanning bridge, and then we're going to head over and try to dump our, see if we get paid for this transport mission. It says it failed. See what happens. I wonder what toggled it to fail, like by changing view or something. I don't know exactly what I was doing right at the moment it said it failed. Maybe I spun the, I hadn't spun the camera around yet, so that couldn't have been the problem. We were still just taxiing. So I'm not entirely sure. Mine should be directly ahead. And considering there's a gorge right in front of us, see where it spans. Siegelhof, Hunzelsau, Gamberg, Lippersberg, Obaschoff. Kugelhof, Amrichhausen, Pretty Little Valley, Moorsbach, Gillick, whoop, 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 whoop. Find one I don't know, heard before. This thing says it's directly ahead of us. Yeah. Grab my way back over to the gorge.
$500.
Now, it probably could fly, but sometimes some of these bridges, we'll try it. Sometimes
Cocker Viaduct near Schwäbisch Hall,
sometimes some of these bridges are illusions.
crosses the Cocker Valley between
Watch
Heidelberg
fingers.
and Nuremberg. With its
We
maximum
survived.
height of 185 meters above the valley bottom, it is the highest viaduct in Germany and was also the bridge with the tallest pillars in the world before the Millau Viaduct, France, was completed in 2004. The 9 spans of this pre-stressed concrete girder bridge cover a length of 1,128 meters, the individual span lengths being 81 meters for the outer 2 and 138 meters for the remaining 7. Pillar height varies from 40 meters to 178 meters. The bridge table is 31 meters wide. Construction was from 1976 to 1979. A museum in the village of below the bridge not only tells the bridge's story but also displays dinosaur fossils found during the construction of the motorway.
I believe I saw a documentary on the making of this thing, and I remember losing my mind at just the machinery involved with putting the prefabricated pieces and moving them into place one by one. And it's just like, how is that even possible? You guys are crazy. And it was amazing. I don't know if you should tell people your weaknesses in public, but one of mine is, I don't like bridges. I like construction, and I'm awed at the engineering involved with them, but I don't like bridges. I don't like being on them at all. Don't know what it is. Maybe it was a past life thing. I don't know. All I know is I don't like them, Jacques. I don't like being on them. I don't dig bridges. But again, architecturally, engineering wise, amazing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the bridge. I saw that documentary on. Wow. Very cool. All right. Might as well just take a quick little break here. It's a little after the top of the hour. Maybe 2 minutes. Enough to play the song and pop a couple of puffs on a cigarette or something. Here's a dropping out of school. This is the live version for Brad and Ben. Brad sucks. Their latest full live show is up for January. It's Brad Sucks channel. Be right back. Brad and Ben of Brad Sucks. Do you like and subscribe? Tell them Kenny sent you. Okay. Trying to crash. So this is one of the bridges you can actually fly under. You always got to cross your fingers in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Some of them
500.
you can fly under, no problem. Some of them are total illusions. So it was a bit risky. Again, on this job, we weren't sure if this job is going to pay or not, if it failed or not. So it wouldn't have really mattered if that one would have been an illusion. Luckily for us, that was just fine. Okay. Back on our core setting. Pardon. Back to our deck. Heading button. Autopilot. Alt hold. And setting nav. Make sure it sets. Re-engage it with direct to. Enter. Back on track. Okay, now we can go back out and see if there's anything else around. Over here to our port side, Admiral. We have. Well, let me play this. Take this phone call.
Schloss Hirschbrunn is a castle in Ohrhausen, Bavaria. The castle is a private residence and is owned by the House of Ottingen-Spielberg. Schloss Hirschbrunn started as a hunting lodge for members of the House of Ottingen. Construction began around 1600. The castle was built by Peter and Hans Alberthal and was made for Count Gottfried of Ottingen and Wilhelm II, Count of Ottingen-Wallerstein. The castle was reportedly looted in 1634 after the Battle of Neutlingen. Albert Ernest II, Prince of Ottingen sold the castle to Count Franz Albrecht of Ottingen-Spielberg in the late 17th century.
Spielberg?
Franz Albrecht had the castle expanded in 1692 and built a Catholic chapel. The castle served as a school from 1700 to 1846. After World War II, it was used as a warehouse. It was renovated in 1978 and again in 1992. It is now owned by the House of Ottingen-Spielberg and is not open to the public.
I'm going to see if we can see it. And overshot a little bit. Let me bring it back. Closer to. Yeah. Wish they had sticky keys. Good enough. Good, at least going the right way. Germany, you are Very pretty. Everywhere I've traveled so far, which, and again, it's not extensive. This is kind of like we're doing our first world tour. We're going to keep going from here now and start exploring the world, I suppose. Because I've done my cross countries, lots of cross countries now, and now I can do airliner cross countries. So I did my, I flew out to New York in like the Cessna or the Caravan here. I went east, I went all the way to California, and then went north a little bit. And then 2 weeks ago or so, I did a long run from Colorado all the way down to the tip of Argentina without going into Antarctica. So that one took, what, a week and a half probably. But it was so worth it. Everywhere I've flown, that was the point I was trying to make. It's like, well, once you've seen one patch of land, come on. I mean, you've seen them all, right? So in the United States, man, you've got all these different terrain types from extremely mountainous to desert to, plains and everything in between. Like, how come you don't go explore the world? Because you've seen one patch of land, you've seen them all. And those words are getting slapped right out of my face the more I do. And I love it. I love it. Because as we made our way into Texas, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be so boring. Some of the most amazing terrain I've seen so far. Blew my mind. As we kept going and going, and then my first time over the Andes and seeing the Andes for the first time, blow my mind. They have rock formations in the Andes I've never seen, and if I end up seeing some more stuff like that anywhere in the world, I'll be blown away. I haven't done the Alps, so I don't know. Nothing to compare it to. But all I can say is I've never seen anything like that before on this earth. Freaking mind-blowing, man. You folks, that gives me a moment to now reflect on Asobo in general, the company that has delivered this along with Microsoft. You folks at Asobo, what you've delivered unto us, I just can't thank you enough. I mean, from the depths of my soul. Because I wanted to learn how to fly so bad. And I was just starting to really get the bug. Once I could figure out how to land. That was 2 years learning right there. I just couldn't figure it out, man. I freak out. In a simulator, in a computer simulator, my heart would be racing and I would freak out and I couldn't stick a landing to save my life. I don't understand it. I would try to follow the instructions the best that they were conveyed in the simulator training and in the knowledge base, and YouTube wasn't even around at that point. There were no videos out there that you could go watch. And then so Flight Simulator X wasn't around yet either. I think they just released, or maybe it was. Either way, in the time frame of the way I did things, is Microsoft released something called Flight. Now, if you're an old school flight simulator, you might be saying, "Oh, that piece of crap." Flight was a piece of crap, man. That wasn't a simulator. And look, I have a completely different opinion of it because it was Microsoft Flight that made it fun for me. So for somebody like me who was having such a difficult time just with landing and wanting to be a flight simmer, but if I couldn't stick a landing, then what's the point? But I'll go ahead and give Microsoft Flight a try. Close way to that castle. Says it's right up ahead a few degrees. So anyway, Flight comes out and they introduce this little plane called the Icon A5. And they had these, they weren't missions, they were just activities. Fly around and collect the gold coins in the air and make money and learn how to fly around a hotel and land on the water. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be crazy. Fly around a golf course. You're kidding me. How in the world? That's going to require acrobatics and everything else. Anyway, they would make a long story short. The Icon was so much fun to fly. And it wasn't intimidating. There wasn't all these gauges and stuff. Oh my God, I don't know what any of this is. They just stripped all that out and made a simple cockpit and introduced us to a light sport plane that was great performance. And I was having such a grand time learning how to land on water. And because you're so low in the seat in the Icon, it really does feel like a car. And so making the transition from air to ground, it felt so much more natural than being in a plane and not being able to see your damn wheels or not understanding how much space you have underneath you and all of it. But learning how to fly the Icon and learning how to pivot around golf courses and fly around windmills and fly around hotels and do all these things, you learn a lot. Like, you know, power management. And so, yeah, at that point, I started sticking landings and sticking landings and sticking landings. Wow. 30% of my landings. That's how crappy I was. I was happy to hit 30%. Wow, I've hit 30%. Be a couple of degrees off, but it'll be right here. Gotta be one of these structures. Biggest structures. That seems to be in the proper location. Unfortunately, it's just got a generic building on it and it's nothing special. Sucks. But, you know, I guess not everything can be in the simulator accurately.
Schloss Hirschbrunn is a castle in Ohrhausen, Bavaria. The castle is a private residence and is owned by the House of Ottingen-Spielberg.
Yeah, we heard this.
Hirschbrunn started as a hunting lodge for members of the House of Ottingen. Construction began around 1600. The castle was built by Peter and Hans Alberthal and was made for Count Gottfried of Ottingen-Ottingen and Wilhelm II, Count of Ottingen-Wallenstein. The castle was reportedly looted in 1634 after the Battle of Neutlingen. Albert Ernest II, Prince of Ottingen-Ottingen, sold the castle to Count Franz Albrecht of Ottingen-Spielberg in the late 17th century. Franz Albrecht had the castle expanded in 1692 and built a Catholic chapel. The castle served as a school from 1700 to 1846. After World War II, it was used as a warehouse. It was renovated in 1978 and again in 1990. The depression is a meteorite impact crater formed 14.808 plus minus 0.038 million years ago in the Miocene. The crater is most commonly referred to simply as Rise Crater or the Rise. The original crater rim had an estimated diameter of 24 kilometers. The present floor of the depression is about 100 to 150 meters below the eroded remains of the rim. It was originally assumed that the rise was of volcanic origin. In 1960, Eugene Shoemaker and Edward C.T. Zhao showed that the depression was caused by meteorite impact. The key evidence was the presence of coesite, which, in unmetamorphosed rocks, can only be formed by the shock pressures associated with meteorite impact. The coesite was found in swavite from Otting Quarry, but even before, Shoemaker was encouraged by the Neofly and St. George's Church built of locally derived swavite. The swavite was formed from Mesozoic sediments shocked by the bolide impact. The Rise impact crater was a rampart crater, thus far a unique finding on Earth. Rampart craters are almost exclusively found on Mars. Rampart craters exhibit a fluidized ejector flow after impact of the meteorite, most simply compared to a bullet fired into mud, with the ejector resembling a mud flow.
I'm trying to head to that right now and see what we can see. Lane, she's turning slow, sir. Oh, no, well, no wonder. A derp, a derp. Why isn't she turning? No, I better add some more into that. So we're looking for a crater. 5 minutes after the hour. Schedules. Missed the 20-minute mark. But Papa Pass Monk if you got him. Yeah.
The depression is a meteorite impact crater formed 14.808 plus minus 0.038 million years ago in the Miocene. The crater is most commonly referred to simply as Rise Crater or the Rise. The original crater rim had an estimated diameter of 24 kilometers. The present floor of the depression is about 100 to 150 meters below the eroded remains of the rim. It was originally assumed that the rise was of volcanic origin. In 1960, Eugene Shoemaker and Edward C.T. Zhao showed that the depression was caused by meteorite impact. The key evidence was the presence of coesite, which, in unmetamorphosed rocks, can only be formed by the shock pressures associated with meteorite impact. The coesite was found in swavite from Otting Quarry, but even before,
I don't know how to turn them off once they're started. Once they have
St. George's
started.
Church built of locally derived swavite.
Okay. I'm so sorry. So after that last smoke break and doing whatever I was doing, changing the music, I thought Farmer Cool had stepped out of the room as well. And I missed Farmer Cool's chat. And I feel, again, just crappy about that. I hate, with everything going on, I hate screwing up. And so as I was moving windows and jumping around, and the chat got hidden behind other windows. And if it's not right in my face, then I'm a dork and I don't see it. And so Farmer Cool was continuing a conversation with me and asking me questions, and I missed them. I feel like a dork. We're right here. As a matter of fact, it was, behind us as well. And I didn't see any crater activity. You saw it far out, but maybe that's just that depression in the ground right there. That's it. It's really, really hard to make out if there's a depression at all. I thought it would be dramatic, like Arizona. I mean, that's a crater. It's unmistakable. Okay. Museum. That's a river.
Heidenheim and der Brenz is a town in Baden-Württemberg in southern Germany.
Okay, we don't have any major things.
Near the border with Bavaria, approximately 17 kilometers south of Aalen and 33 kilometers north of Ulm.
Okay.
Heidenheim is the largest town and the seat of the district of Heidenheim, and ranks third behind Aalen and Schwäbisch Gmünd in size among the towns in the region of East Württemberg. Heidenheim is the economic center for all the communities in Heidenheim district and is the headquarters of the Voith Industrial Company. The town's population passed the 20,000 mark in 1925. Heidenheim collaborates with the town of Nattheim in administrative matters. The residents of Heidenheim and its surrounding area speak the distinct German dialect of Swabian.
Okay. My apologies and thank yous into the chat room. Hey, we're back on course. Got back into the cockpit and got the GPS set again. And now that we've come back down, I don't know about those hills right up ahead. Wow. No, it's here. We're here. It's a good place to end the show. 3:30 anyway. I need to get doing some other things today. So we're looking for EDPA. Echo Delta Papa Alpha. Echo Delta Papa Alpha. Wind is blowing from west. To 8. And I hopefully have that right. So we're flying the best we can into the wind, that direction. Like we're coming around the other side. So enter there. Sorry, I don't have music, and I don't have the engines up really loud, so I hope that doesn't make it comfortable in any way as a viewer and listener. But after a while, the engine noise really gets on me, and we're starting to move into the age of the electronic airplane, fully electric engines. And so for role-playing purposes, that's what we're going with, is that this is one of the fancy schmancy new electric. And this is how pleasant your airline experiences can start being here in the future. you know, save your ears, save everybody's ears. Have to wear the big ass bulgy headphones, noise canceling this, whatever. Use a mic without having to have it with all this heavy noise suppression on it. That noise was me turning the flaps on. Normally with the Caravan, it doesn't do it in 10-degree intervals. It just goes for broke and throws it all the way into full. Which does give you that heavy nose lift there. I was talking about the separator earlier, and this is something I didn't know about in planes, and I don't know where I got off the subject, but this inertial separator, as I understand this, you don't have this in Cessna and the other plane, but as I understand it, as you approach the ground and as you are running around and doing your takeoff and moving around on the ground, this engine is so powerful, the intakes move a lot of air. And near the ground, larger pieces of particulate matter can be pulled into the intakes. And you need those particles to be filtered out so that they don't screw up your engine. So the inertial separator, although it sounds like something right out of Star Trek, Spock. Yes, Captain. Make sure the inertial separator is on. Doesn't it? It's right. I mean, you know, for what it is. But anyway, that's what it does. It creates... It moves some stuff inside your engine, like some fans. Imagine some fan fins, some fins. It moves some fins around into a configuration inside of the, behind the intake, which diverts large particles out and away from the engine. So full flaps, and we're still going fast. And still pull up. Bottle. Oh, I chose the dirt runway. Yeah, I'm discovering a lot of these airports over here. Also have accompanying grass fields, gliders and such.
Wasn't the softest landing I've seen.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
We'll take it in this time. I'm going to be ending here anyway. Get over to the gas tanks. Good enough. All right. Thank you for tuning in today. Please like and subscribe. Don't make me beg. Please. Please don't make me beg. I need your support. I need you. Remember those, remember those, Uncle Sam posters? Oh, I need you. Got his finger pointing. That's kind of, I need you. I need your. I need you.
Transporter.
Come on, Uncle Sam.
Disembarking of passengers can begin.
Great, we're gonna get paid. So, it still managed to.
Pilot, remember what I said at the boarding? Same now.
So what he told us at boarding was that if we turn around.
Transporter from dispatch. Sorry, but you messed up the mission. You will not be paid.
Yeah, he said if we turned around or tried to ID him, he would.
You can start your engine now.
He would shoot us. So that doesn't really matter if we got paid. That was the first time we've ever heard of that, and that was interesting in itself. So that also made this show interesting. I apologize on behalf of YouTube for all the mistakes it was making, and I apologize for not making sure that my microphone was actually working before going on. And now I got to pay way more attention to that. I was just dumb. Okay. Let me switch over to this here and make it official. Turn off my auto scene switcher. Yeah, so now it's officially. You can go. Have a good day. Okay, so what I am doing is I'm gonna my friends have pulled me back into Star Trek Online. So that's actually what I'm going to go do. If you're a longtime player of that, you can type in my name over there and you'll find me. Kinneas. Then the order in which people subscribed is logged somewhere. You can find out what number of you were when you first subscribed. By the way, the people in order of purchases, what number did you become a subscriber? I'm number 13. I tried to get number 1. That's how long I've been with Star Trek Online. I am number 13. And I still haven't got back to The Sims or Bannerlord or Rome Total War in the evenings yet. And I don't know why. I almost don't want to finish Baldur's Gate. I don't know why I don't want to finish it. I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't know. Stop right here. And I'm so close to the end, too. I'm in Baldur's Gate, and we're in the 3rd act or whatever, and I just need to get motivated to finish that one up. Off to Star Trek Online it is, and I will